Welcome to Dhammikarama's Paranormal Zone. I'm in North Malaysia here in Penang, and we are standing in front of the very sacred and old Dhammikarama Buddhist Temple, which originates in Burma, and it's founded here. The monks here are all from Burma. It was originally built in 1803, so this place is over 200 years old. And I'm going to take you inside on a tour of the main shrine, the 8-meter standing Buddha, the original Buddha that's 200 years old, a holy circumambulation walk, the Bodhi tree, and also a very powerful shrine of the Arahant Upagutta, which is very well known and famous for exorcising negative spirits and expelling demons from our lives. So let's go inside. I'm standing in front of the Bodhi tree within the temple compounds, and this is a Bodhi tree, which is the same species of trees that Lord Buddha sat under to become enlightened. And many Theravadan temples throughout the world will plant this type of tree in their compound to represent and to remember and to commemorate the place and the spot in which Buddha sat to become an enlightened being. So this is the Bodhi tree. I am in the main shrine hall of this beautiful Burmese Buddhist temple with an 8.2-meter standing Buddha that is 30% gold and made of copper, and it is just spectacular if you take a look at it. So there are beautiful offerings made in the front. Everything's so well maintained. And behind this Buddha, you'll see Buddhas offered to this temple to commemorate the place from various countries such as Afghanistan, Nepal, China, Japan, Korea. So let's take a look here. I'm standing right in front here of this 8.2-meter Lord Buddha standing. It is just beautiful. Come, let's take a look at the back. This is the hall of Buddhas that are donated from different Buddhist countries around the world. For example, this is from Bangladesh. This one is from Nepal. This one is from Pakistan. This one's from Sri Lanka, and so on and so on. Now, if we can get a view of this place, it's just beautiful. This is behind the main standing Buddha. This is the hall of Buddhas donated from different countries from around the world to commemorate the opening of this temple. It's just spectacular and very beautiful. And each one's carved according to the tradition and the iconography of their particular country. This is on the side of the main chapel in the temple compound, and it houses the most gorgeous, beautiful, peaceful, placid, well-made, well-structured Buddha, one of the best I've ever seen in my life. And this Buddha is 200 years old. Let's come on in and take a look. The artwork, the face, the structure, the pose, it's just absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. I thought I'd share this with all my paranormal friends. Okay, we are going into the chapel of the Arahant Upagutta, who is very famous for conferring blessings for kids before they go for examinations, so they get a very good score. So consequently, during exam periods, this place is packed with children, many children. And on top of that, Upagutta is famous for expelling evil spirits, demons, ghosts, and beings that take possession of people and harm them. So Upagutta is very famous for doing exorcism. Let's take a look at this famous place. This is the powerful Upagutta, who is well known in Burma for push away or exorcise evil spirits. And this temple is in beautiful North Malaysia, Penang. Okay, this is very interesting. This is what we call a Naga. And in the Buddhist world, in the Buddhist text, and Lord Buddha himself acknowledged these type of mythical beings that exist, and what they are basically beings who are half animal and half people, but they manifest as snakes when necessary. And during Buddha's time, when he was meditating during the monsoon, a Naga came and opened his hood and shaded Lord Buddha during his meditation, because he can feel Buddha's great compassion. And even today in Thailand, in the Mekong River, once a year, they would see great, long, huge Nagas swimming along the ocean. And many people go to witness this, and it's on film. Maybe we can find it on YouTube. Well, maybe that's what the Loch Ness Monster of Scotland really is. This is a Naga. Okay, I'm going to tell you my paranormal story for the day very soon. But before I like to tell you the stories, I'd like to take you to interesting places in Malaysia and hopefully later abroad. So right now, as you know, I'm still at the Burmese temple on top of the bell tower, about 3 stories up. And this building is filled with beautiful Buddhas from different countries and different plaques. Now I want you to take a look at the temple grounds. That is the main prayer hall that houses the older Buddhas. And then the tall building there houses the 8+ meter Buddha standing, made of copper and gold. Then you can see the stupas. Then on the left, you can see the Upagutta Chapel, which is where we were just at, renunciation wall. And then you can see the skyline around here. All around, we're right here in the oasis of peace and tranquility, but all around, you can see modern buildings and modern life going on in the island of Penang in North Malaysia. With special permission, we are inside the Burmese temple at night. I wouldn't say it's spooky, but I would say it's mysterious. The figures that we see during the day guarding the temple kind of look very alive and real at night, as if they are guarding and watching the temple, protecting the premises from negative influences. Anyway, the story I wanted to share with everyone tonight was that years ago, I would say maybe 10 years ago, maybe more, I stayed in this apartment in this area called Kampung Kerinci, which is of course in Kuala Lumpur. And it was something like a 1,100 square feet apartment, and I lived alone. I had 2 bedrooms, small ones, nice, 1.5 baths, a little mini dining room, a small kitchen, a veranda, and a little hall. It was perfect, and I was alone, and I was doing my own thing there. And what happened was, some of my friends came over and we painted the place up, and we decorated the place up, and we went to IKEA and bought some very basic furniture, and we made it very cozy. We made it very nice. It was simple, and I liked it. And I stayed there and cooked my own meals, took care of myself, and transport was a slight problem, but I got over it. Anyways, being there alone, I lock up everything at night, and I had extra locks put up because we are in the city, and there's no way people can get in, and there's grills and all that. And I was like, 10 or 11 stories up into the air, so no one can come in through the windows. And I remember coming out in the mornings and kind of, going in, getting something to drink. And then I'd go to the living room area, and it's very freaky because somebody in the middle of the night in my apartment opened packages of cookies. I mean, they had to have taken the cookies from the kitchen, and I keep my place really clean, and they took it to the living room area, and it was on the coffee table, and you know what? The package was open, and somebody was eating the cookies. And not only were they eating it, they left part of the package there, opened on the table, and there were crumbs all over the carpet, the table. And it's like someone grabbed the food, grabbed the cookies, grabbed the snacks, and they were eating there by themselves, and they just dropped the crumbs everywhere. And I thought to myself, okay, I kind of ignored it, and I said to myself, well, maybe I kind of slept late at night and I forgot about it, and I went to sleep and I didn't clean up, which is very unlike me because I don't do that. I don't want insects to come into the house, so I don't leave crumbs anywhere. And it was really weird because the next night it happened, and a few nights later it happened. And I completely forgot the story. It didn't come to my mind. I remembered it just a few days ago, and I said, oh, I'm going to talk about this on Paranormal. It was really weird, and I called up a few of my friends, and they asked me the perennial safety questions. Did you lock your door? Did you have guests stay over? And, was your window sealed? And I'm like, well, even if I had the door wide open, I had the windows wide open, and someone came in, who would not take anything in my apartment and just eat the cookies and leave? So even if the door was open and I didn't lock it, even if the windows were open and a burglar came in to do whatever, why didn't they take anything and eat cookies and just leave? So that was really weird. So I talked to a few friends, and they told me that they were really spooked out because, how did it happen? Who was it? What was going on? And there was a neighbor that lived across in another annex. And what this neighbor was telling me is that they were not feeling peace at certain times in the night. And they lived on the 8th and 9th floor also. And guess what? Outside their window, they would see heads floating. And I said to my friend, were you intoxicated, drunk? They said, no. You know, it's in the middle of the week. And so at night, in their bedroom, when they opened the window, they would actually see heads float outside of the window, and there would be no balcony, there would be no ledge, no nothing. And I said, well, how do you feel? They said, we're scared. So that was kind of really, really weird. And so what we did was, I suspected that might be some kind of land deities, you know, deities that abide in that area, that are without form, that still believe they own the area, and they want some attention, some respect, and maybe some snacks. So what we did is they have that kind of, what we call around here a dejukong, or a land deity house. And what happens is that we went down there and made cookies and offerings, and we put some drinks, some cokes, we put some incense there. And I was told that they actually didn't see the heads much anymore after that. And I thought, okay, good. But what was really weird was, to this day, what happened in my room, I can't figure out what it is. That, was it me sleepwalking, because that's very unlike me, and eating and leaving the crumbs there and not remembering? Or was it some supernatural being who came into my apartment, went to the kitchen, took the cookies, opened it up, sat on the coffee table area, ate off the coffee table, left the crumbs all over the place? And I'm telling you, big crumbs, okay? I'm not talking about 1 or 2 pieces. I'm talking about a lot of crumbs in that area. It just looked like someone sat there eating and drops crumbs everywhere. So to this day, I don't know if it was me sleepwalking, which could be, but I doubt it, because I don't eat in my sleepwalk, or was it a real supernatural being? Well, that's my story for today, and I'll let you decide what you think it might be.